Welcome to UFO Files. I'm your host, Ben Carter. The night of October 21st, 1978, was not an ordinary one in the annals of aviation history. On this evening, a young Australian pilot, Frederick Valentich, embarked on a routine training flight over the Bass Strait. But this was a flight destined to be anything but routine. Valentich, piloting a Cessna 182L, never returned from this flight, vanishing without a trace. The mystery of Valentich's disappearance has intrigued researchers and UFO enthusiasts for decades. Was it a tragic aviation accident? Or did something more extraordinary occur? The chilling radio transmissions from that night, combined with Valentich's personal interest in UFOs, have led many to speculate that his disappearance may be linked to an extraterrestrial encounter. Valentich reported sighting an unidentified aircraft hovering above his plane. His last words, broadcasted over the radio, were, "That strange aircraft is hovering on top of me again. It is hovering and it's not an aircraft." Then silence. Air traffic controllers lost contact with Valentich, and an extensive search and rescue mission found no trace of the young pilot or his aircraft. At the time, the Australian government attributed Valentich's disappearance to probable misadventure, but this explanation left many questions unanswered. If it was a crash, where was the wreckage? Why were there no distress signals? How could a seasoned pilot misidentify a celestial body or another aircraft as a UFO? The Valentich case gained further notoriety when classified documents were leaked in 2014, revealing the Australian government had been keeping secret files on UFO sightings. Among these files was a report on Valentich's encounter, suggesting a more serious consideration of the UFO theory than the government had previously admitted. In the report, a witness account corroborated Valentich's sighting of an unidentified aircraft. An unidentified farmer, out late on the night of the disappearance, claimed to have seen a green light in the sky and heard the sound of an engine. He then witnessed a craft plunge into the sea. The farmer's report was dismissed at the time, and he was advised not to discuss it. The question remains, what happened to Frederick Valentich? Was it a case of a young pilot's imagination running wild, a tragic accident, or a genuine encounter with the unknown? The official records provide no definitive answers, but the mysterious circumstances surrounding Valentich's disappearance continue to fuel speculation and debate. The silence of the sea and the secrets it holds are a chilling reminder of the unexplained mysteries that continue to defy our understanding. To fully comprehend the significance of the Valentich case, we must delve deeper into the history and context from which it arose. The late 1970s was a time of escalating tension and rapid technological advancement. The Cold War was in full swing, fostering an atmosphere of suspicion and secrecy. This was also the era of the space race, with both the USA and the USSR striving for dominance beyond Earth's atmosphere. These developments fueled an increasing public interest in unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, with a spike in reported sightings across the globe. In Australia, the political climate was one of uncertainty and change. The country had recently undergone a constitutional crisis, leading to the dismissal of the Prime Minister Gough Whitlam in 1975. Public trust in government institutions was at a low ebb, and this sense of mistrust may have influenced the public's readiness to believe in a cover-up concerning Valentich's disappearance. Geographically, the event occurred over the Bass Strait, a notoriously treacherous body of water separating mainland Australia from the island state of Tasmania. The strait has been the scene of numerous maritime and aviation accidents throughout history, earning it a reputation as the Australian Bermuda Triangle. The unpredictable weather conditions and volatile seas make it an ideal setting for a mysterious aviation incident. The cultural landscape at the time also played a role. The 1970s saw a surge in interest in science fiction and the possibility of extraterrestrial life, spurred on by popular films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Star Wars. Within this context, it's not surprising that Valentich's disappearance and his last cryptic message would capture the public's imagination and lead to speculation about UFO involvement. Scientifically, the 1970s marked significant advancements in aeronautics and space exploration. Yet the understanding of UFO phenomena was still in its infancy. The term UFO was first coined by the U.S. Air Force in 1953, but the scientific study of these phenomena, known as ufology, was not yet widely recognized. This lack of formalized study and understanding may have contributed to the skepticism with which official institutions treated UFO sightings, including Valentich's report. In this intricate web of history, politics, geography, culture, and science, the Valentich disappearance found fertile ground to grow into a phenomenon that continues to intrigue and baffle researchers today. The event happened at a time and place where the lines between the known and the unknown, the terrestrial and the extraterrestrial, were blurred, both by the zeitgeist of the era and the mysteries of the Bass Strait itself. This backdrop set the stage for the enduring enigma of Frederick Valentich's disappearance. At the center of this enigma was Frederick Valentich himself, a 20-year-old pilot with a passion for aircraft and a dream of joining the Royal Australian Air Force. Valentich was not an inexperienced pilot. He had clocked 150 hours of flying time and held a Class 4 instrument rating, allowing him to fly at night. Yet it's important to note that he had a history of risky behavior. His flight record was tarnished by 3 occasions of deliberately flying into a cloud, a serious offense in aviation. His fascination with UFOs was also well known among his peers, a detail that would later emerge as a significant factor in the unfolding mystery. The evening of October 21, 1978, was a routine one for air traffic controllers at Melbourne Flight Service. Valentich was on a training flight to King Island, a small landmass in the Bass Strait. His scheduled return was around 7:30 p.m. But it was his unexpected radio call at 7:06 p.m. that would throw a wrench into the tranquility of the evening. Valentich reported an unidentified craft hovering above him, moving at high speed. His transmission was laced with apprehension as he described the craft's strange maneuvers and metallic appearance. His last words, "It's hovering and it's not an aircraft," were followed by a metallic scraping sound, and then silence. The chilling final moments of his transmission were captured in official transcripts that have been dissected by researchers for decades. In the aftermath of Valentich's disappearance, an exhaustive search was launched, covering over 1,000 square miles of the Bass Strait. Despite the effort, no trace of the Cessna 182L aircraft or its pilot was found. The official accident summary report, released by the Australian Department of Transport, concluded that the reasons for the disappearance could not be determined. In the years that followed, several witnesses came forward, claiming to have seen an unidentified green light moving erratically in the sky on the night of Valentich's disappearance. One of the most compelling statements came from a farmer named Roy Manifold, who had been photographing the sunset at Cape Otway. He claimed to have captured a strange object rising from the sea minutes before Valentich's last transmission. His photos, although scrutinized, have never been definitively explained. The Valentich case is further distinguished by a series of declassified documents from the Australian government. These files, released in 2012, detail numerous UFO sightings across the country, suggesting that Valentich's encounter may not have been an isolated incident. The combination of Valentich's final unnerving radio transmission, witness accounts, photographic evidence, and official documents has kept this case in the public eye. Each piece of evidence provides a glimpse into the puzzle, yet the full picture remains elusive, the truth shrouded in the vast, mysterious expanse of the Bass Strait. At the heart of the Valentich disappearance is a theory that challenges the boundaries of our understanding, even flirt with the realm of science fiction. This core theory suggests that Valentich didn't merely vanish, but was the victim of an extraterrestrial encounter, his plane intercepted by a UFO over the Bass Strait. The details of Valentich's final transmission lend a chilling credence to this theory. His descriptions of the unidentified craft's unusual maneuvers and metallic appearance, its rapid ascend and descend, and its ability to hover, do not correspond to conventional aircraft behavior. The metallic scraping sound at the end of his transmission has led some to speculate about a physical contact or a collision with his plane. The lack of wreckage further fuels the UFO theory. Despite extensive searches, no trace of Valentich's aircraft was ever found. It was as if he and his plane had been plucked from the sky. Some propose that Valentich's plane was drawn into the unidentified craft, a theory that has been depicted in popular culture, most notably in Steven Spielberg's films. The witness accounts of the green light moving erratically in the sky and the photographs taken by Roy Manifold add to the enigma. The green object, coupled with the fact that Manifold's photos were taken minutes before Valentich's last transmission, only intensify the speculation of an otherworldly intervention. Perhaps most intriguing are the declassified documents from the Australian government, which indicate that UFO sightings were not uncommon around the time of Valentich's disappearance. This has led to questions about whether there might have been a larger pattern of extraterrestrial activity, with Valentich's encounter being one of many. However, skeptics argue that the UFO theory is a leap too far. They suggest that Valentich may have become disoriented and flown upside down, causing the lights of his own plane to appear as if they were from another craft. The metallic scraping sound, they propose, could have been the sound of Valentich's plane crashing into the sea. The UFO theory, despite its criticism, remains the most talked-about explanation for Valentich's disappearance. It challenges the realm of the known and the accepted, veering into the realm of the strange and inexplicable. Yet it persists, because it offers an explanation, however unconventional, to the elusive mystery. What happened to Frederick Valentich over the Bass Strait that fateful October night? Despite the absence of wreckage, the Valentich case does present some physical evidence and anomalies that continue to perplex researchers. These instances point to something beyond what we understand as conventional technology or natural phenomena. Firstly, let's consider the photographs taken by Roy Manifold. Unbeknownst to Manifold, he was photographing the area where Valentich would report his UFO encounter minutes later. Upon developing the images, a strange anomaly appeared in one of them, a dark blot against the sunset, distinguishable from the clouds. This was analyzed by multiple specialists, including a team from the Ground Saucer Watch in the United States. Their findings suggested that the object was a solid metallic structure, about 1 mile away from the camera, moving at approximately 200 miles per hour. These characteristics do not align with any known aircraft or natural formation. Another noteworthy point is the green light reported by witnesses on the ground. Green is not a common color for aircraft lights, and it is not associated with any known celestial bodies or atmospheric phenomena. Moreover, the erratic movement described by the witnesses does not correspond to conventional aircraft behavior, further supporting the idea of an unidentified object in the sky. In addition, there's the metallic scraping sound heard at the end of Valentich's radio transmission. While some have suggested it might be the sound of the aircraft crashing into the sea, no wreckage was ever found to substantiate this theory. Moreover, the sound was not consistent with the noise of metal impacting water. It is a mystery in itself that has yet to be explained by known physics or technology. The radar data from that night also raises questions. While no unusual objects were detected on the radar at Melbourne Flight Service, some UFO researchers argue that this doesn't necessarily rule out the presence of an unknown craft. They suggest that the object might have been using some form of stealth technology to avoid detection, technology that far surpasses what was available in 1978, and technology that arguably surpasses even what we have today. Finally, the prevailing weather conditions offer another perplexing detail. The night was clear with no unusual atmospheric or meteorological phenomena reported. This rules out many natural explanations for the sighting, such as ball lightning or meteorological balloons. Taken together, these physical anomalies suggest that something unconventional occurred over the Bass Strait that night. Whether this points to the presence of an unknown craft or some other unexplained phenomenon remains a topic of intense debate and fascination. The reaction of official bodies to the vanishing of Frederick Valentich was a study in itself. The Australian Department of Transport, responsible for investigating aviation accidents, conducted a brief inquiry into Valentich's disappearance. The department's investigation was inconclusive, attributing the incident to unknown factors, and all further inquiries were stopped. The Royal Australian Air Force, R8AF, also carried out an investigation. Their conclusion, however, was different. They proposed that Valentich had become disorientated and saw his own lights reflected in the water, or lights from a nearby island, while flying upside down. This theory, however, fails to explain the green light reported by witnesses on the ground, the metallic scraping sounds, or the absence of wreckage. Meanwhile, as conspiracy theories about Valentich's encounter with a UFO began to circulate, the Australian government remained notably silent. No official statement was ever released to dismiss or support these theories. This silence has been interpreted by some as an attempt to suppress information about the incident. Similarly, the U.S. government, often a key player in UFO-related incidents, maintained a conspicuous silence on the Valentich case. Despite the global attention the case attracted, neither the CIA nor the U.S. Air Force, both of which have been implicated in UFO investigations in the past, made any discernible comment about Valentich's disappearance. The response from various official bodies following Valentich's disappearance has led some to suspect a cover-up. Critics argue that the lack of transparency and the quick dismissal of the incident by authorities suggest a deliberate attempt to suppress information. Many UFO enthusiasts believe that governments and military agencies around the world have evidence of extraterrestrial visitations, but choose to keep it hidden from the public, and they see the Valentich case as a prime example of this. On the other hand, skeptics argue that the silence and apparent disinterest from government bodies merely reflect the lack of tangible evidence in the Valentich case. They contend that without any wreckage or physical proof, there is little that authorities can do, other than speculate, which they are institutionally disinclined to do. Either way, the lack of a definitive answer from official agencies has only served to deepen the mystery surrounding the Frederick Valentich disappearance. It has left a void that has been filled by both believers and skeptics alike, each with their own interpretation of the events that occurred over the Bass Strait on that fateful night in October 1978. The Valentich case, like many other unsolved mysteries, forces us to confront the limitations of our knowledge and our understanding of reality. By challenging the mainstream narratives of authority and empirical science, it invites us to reconsider our notions of what is possible and impossible, real and unreal. The disappearance of Frederick Valentich thus transcends the realm of the factual, entering the sphere of the philosophical and psychological, where it continues to incite wonder and speculation. The Valentich incident challenges our perception of authority. If the government and its agencies, which are supposed to protect us and keep us informed, cannot or will not provide answers, who then can we trust? The silence of official bodies in the face of such an enigma undermines our faith in the institutions we rely on for truth and order. It raises questions about the integrity and transparency of those in power and their willingness to engage openly with phenomena that defy conventional understanding. But perhaps more profoundly, the Valentich case unsettles our sense of humanity's place in the universe. The thought of extraterrestrial contact brings us face to face with our own insignificance in the cosmic expanse. The possibility that we are not alone, that other intelligent life forms exist and are potentially capable of visiting us, is simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. It's a daunting prospect that challenges our anthropocentric worldview, forcing us to question our supremacy as the dominant life form on Earth. On a spiritual and existential level, the Valentich disappearance confronts us with the concept of the unknown. It reminds us that there are phenomena beyond our comprehension, mysteries that science and reason may not be able to decipher. For some, this opens doors to spirituality, to the belief in higher powers or dimensions that govern our existence. For others, it fuels a sense of nihilism, a realization of the futility of our quest for knowledge in a universe that is vast beyond measure. Culturally, the Valentich case has had a significant impact as well. It has added to the rich tapestry of UFO lore, providing fodder for countless books, films, and television series. The story has become part of our collective consciousness, a symbol of the eternal human yearning to explore the unexplored and understand the incomprehensible. It has inspired and intrigued, showing us that even in our modern age of technology and reason, there are still mysteries that continue to elude us. The Valentich case, in all its ambiguity, serves as a stark reminder of the enigma that is our existence in this universe. As time passed, the Valentich case faded from the front pages, but it has never far from the collective human consciousness. It has resurfaced periodically in documentaries, podcasts, and is the subject of many books. The captivating mystery it presents continues to capture the imagination of the public and media alike. In the digital age, the case has found new life online. Internet sleuths and UFO enthusiasts have dissected every aspect of the story, sharing theories and speculation on forums, blogs, and social media. One particular podcast, Strange Skies, dedicated an entire series to the Valentich case, interviewing aviation experts, ufologists, and even members of Frederick Valentich's family, bringing the story back into the spotlight. Several documentaries have also delved into the case. The most notable among them is Vanished, the Valentich Mystery, which meticulously dissected the incident with a fine-tooth comb. It presented new angles, insights, and even some previously unexplored evidence. These in-depth explorations have reignited interest in the case and brought it to the attention of a new generation. Moreover, the Valentich case has featured prominently in the recent resurgence of interest in UFO phenomena. The release of declassified U.S. government videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena and the subsequent congressional hearings on the subject have brought UFOs back into the limelight. The Valentich case is often cited in these discussions as a compelling example of an unexplained encounter. This renewed interest has had an impact on public opinion, making it more socially acceptable to discuss UFO sightings and experiences. It has also affected policy. The U.S. government's decision to establish a task force to investigate UFO encounters is a testament to the shift in attitude towards these phenomena. This change in stance can be attributed, at least in part, to enduring mysteries like the Valentich case, which continue to challenge our understanding of the universe. The Valentich disappearance has also influenced popular culture, inspiring episodes in television series like Project Blue Book and Unsolved Mysteries. These portrayals, while dramatized, keep the story alive and contribute to the ongoing discourse about UFOs and extraterrestrial life. In conclusion, the Valentich case, despite its age, retains its power to intrigue and mystify. The modern resurgence in its popularity testifies to its enduring appeal and relevance in a world increasingly fascinated by the possibility of extraterrestrial encounters. It continues to influence public opinion, shape policy, and inspire creative works, ensuring its place in the annals of UFO history. Its legacy is a testament to the human fascination with the unknown and our relentless quest for answers. As we delve deeper into the Valentich mystery, we encounter a maze of theories that veer into the realm of the extraordinary. These speculative interpretations, while controversial, underscore the depth of intrigue surrounding this case. One such theory suggests that Valentich encountered not just a UFO, but actual extraterrestrial beings. Believers in this theory argue that the unusual behavior and flight pattern of the unidentified craft, as described by Valentich himself in his radio transmissions, indicate a technology far beyond human capabilities. They posit that this was no mere sighting, but an actual alien contact event, with Valentich presumably abducted by the occupants of the UFO. Some proponents of this theory go a step further, suggesting that Valentich may have been chosen for a specific reason. They speculate about hybrid agendas, wherein extraterrestrials are believed to abduct humans for the purpose of genetic experiments or interbreeding. While outlandish, these theories highlight the lengths to which people will go in trying to make sense of an unfathomable event. There are those who have proposed even stranger theories that defy our understanding of time and space. These proponents argue that Valentich may have passed through an interdimensional portal, a kind of gateway between different realities. They base this on the sudden and complete disappearance of both Valentich and his plane. According to this theory, Valentich may be alive and well in an alternate reality, forever cut off from our own. Another theory, grounded more in science fiction than science, proposes that Valentich fell victim to a time anomaly, a glitch in the fabric of space-time that catapulted him into the past or future. This theory, while fascinating, is largely dismissed by mainstream science due to lack of empirical evidence. Some speculate that Valentich's encounter was with secret technology, either a stealth aircraft or drone being tested by a foreign power, or a clandestine arm of the Australian government. The Cold War was in full swing at the time, after all, and it's conceivable that what Valentich saw was not extraterrestrial, but terrestrial in origin. These theories, while intriguing, remain speculative and unproven. They often raise more questions than they answer, leaving us in a perpetual state of uncertainty. Valentich's disappearance reminds us that there are events in our world that defy easy explanation, and that the search for answers often leads us into realms that challenge our understanding of reality. Even as we continue to probe the Valentich mystery, we must accept that some aspects may forever remain enigmatic, shrouded in the mists of the unknown. The enduring mystery of Frederick Valentich's disappearance has yet to yield any definitive answers. Despite extensive investigations and countless theories, the key questions remain. What did Valentich encounter that fateful evening? And what ultimately became of him and his Cessna 182L? The enigma is compounded by Valentich's final radio transmissions, filled with descriptions of an unidentified aircraft exhibiting capabilities beyond the known technology of the time. These utterances remain a chilling testament to his final moments, their cryptic nature only deepening the intrigue. The evidence, or lack thereof, also defies explanation. Not a trace of Valentich or his aircraft has ever been found, despite extensive searches by air and sea. This absence of wreckage leaves us without tangible proof, a blank canvas upon which theories are painted, but none ever fully substantiated. Then there's the psychological angle. Some suggest that Valentich was suffering from a mental breakdown, or was in the throes of a hallucination. But this argument is clouded by his seeming lucidity during the encounter. His psychological profile, as far as records indicate, showed no marked tendency toward delusion or fantasy. The possibility of a secret military operation or test aircraft cannot be completely ruled out, given the era of the Cold War. Yet if this were the case, why has no government or agency come forward in over 4 decades to claim responsibility or offer an explanation? The silence merely adds another layer to the mystery. As we draw our exploration to a close, we are left with a profound sense of enigma. The disappearance of Frederick Valentich is a puzzle with pieces that refuse to fit, a tale that resists a clear-cut ending. It stands as a stark reminder of the limits of our understanding, a testament to the mysteries that our world and perhaps others can hold. It is a case open to interpretation, one that invites us to question, to wonder, and to explore. It is a reminder that the world is not always as it seems, and that truth is often stranger than fiction. As we delve into the unknown, we must remain open to the possibilities, however far-fetched they may appear. For who knows what is real, what is hidden, and what still awaits discovery in the vast expanse of our universe? The story of Frederick Valentich challenges us to consider these questions, to probe the boundaries of our understanding, and to keep searching for the answers that remain, as yet, just beyond our grasp. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of UFO Files. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.